In the depths of World War II, amid the icy forests of Silesia, a remarkable story of courage, ingenuity, and sacrifice unfolded. One that would come to be known as the Great Escape. The stage was Stalag Luft III, a German prisoner of war camp specifically designed to be escape-proof, housing Allied airmen captured during the relentless aerial battles over Europe. Yet, within its barbed wire confines, a group of determined men plotted one of the most audacious breakouts in history, demonstrating the relentless human desire for freedom. Stalag Luft III was no ordinary camp. The Germans had built it with escape prevention in mind. The sandy soil made tunneling difficult, collapsing easily and revealing any disturbance. The barracks were raised off the ground to expose any signs of digging, and seismographs were installed to detect underground movement. Guards, known as ferrets, constantly patrolled the perimeter, eyes ever watchful for any suspicious activity. The prisoners, however, were not so easily deterred. Led by squadron leader Roger Bushell, known as Big X, a clandestine organization came together within the camp. Bushell's vision was bold, to orchestrate a mass escape so audacious that it would tie up German resources, disrupt the Nazi war machine, and allow as many men as possible to return to Allied lines or, at the very least, cause chaos behind enemy lines. From the start, the operation was meticulous. Every man had his role: diggers, forgers, tailors, lookouts, and penguins. Those who discreetly scattered the excavated sand from the tunnels into the camp yard, camouflaging their efforts. The plan centered around the construction of not one but 3 tunnels, codenamed Tom, Dick, and Harry. The tunnels would be dug deep beneath the camp, stretching out beyond the barbed wire into the forest beyond. The logic was simple. If one tunnel was discovered, the others might remain secret. The task was immense. The men had to dig through cold, collapsing sand using makeshift tools, knives, tin cans, even spoons. They reinforced the walls with bedboards, stole electrical wire to rig lighting, and created an intricate ventilation system from powdered milk tins. Silence and secrecy were paramount. Any hint of their activities could mean death. As the months dragged on, the tunnels grew longer, inch by painstaking inch. Supplies were in constant demand: civilian clothes for disguises, forged papers for safe passage, maps, compasses, and rations for the perilous journey ahead. The forgers worked by candlelight, replicating stamps, passes, and identification documents with astonishing accuracy. Tailors converted old uniforms into civilian attire, using whatever scraps they could scrounge. Everything had to look authentic. One mistake, one suspicion, and the game would be up. All the while, the threat of discovery loomed. Pop was eventually found by the Germans, but Harry, the most ambitious of the 3, remained hidden. Finally, after more than a year of labor, Harry was ready, a tunnel over 100 meters long, its exit concealed beneath the cover of the forest. The date was set for the night of March 24, 1944. The plan: 200 men would attempt the escape, but as fate would have it, only 76 would make it through before the operation was detected. On the fateful night, the men gathered in silence. The air was thick with anticipation and fear. One by one, escapees slid feet first into the tunnel, crawling through the claustrophobic darkness, clutching their forged papers and precious rations. The tunnel, painstakingly constructed, was cold and damp. The exit, when they reached it, was just short of the forest, exposed in the moonlight. Still, the men pressed on, darting into the woods and disappearing into the night. Freedom, however, was fleeting. The escape had been compromised when a guard spotted movement near the tunnel's exit. The alarm was raised. Only 76 had made it out before the escape route was shut down. The next phase of the plan began, a desperate race across enemy territory. The escapees scattered, hoping to reach neutral or Allied countries by train, on foot, or by whatever means they could. Some spoke German fluently, others relied on their forged documents and disguises to blend in among the crowds. For a brief moment, hope soared, but the Nazis reacted with fury. Roadblocks sprang up across the countryside. The Gestapo, now hunting with ruthless efficiency, scoured the land for the fugitives. Despite their best efforts, most of the escapees were eventually captured. Only 3 made it to freedom: 2 Norwegians, Per Bergslund and Jens Muller, reaching neutral Sweden, and Dutchman Bram van der Stok, making his way to Gibraltar. The consequences were tragic. Adolf Hitler, enraged by the escape and embarrassed by the breach of his supposedly impregnable camp, ordered a brutal reprisal. 50 of the recaptured men were executed by the Gestapo, a violation of the Geneva Convention and a war crime that echoed through history. The remaining survivors were returned to captivity, facing even harsher conditions, but their spirits unbroken. Yet, the legacy of the Great Escape endures. The men of Stalag Luft III demonstrated extraordinary ingenuity and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Their efforts tied up thousands of German troops and resources, disrupted enemy operations, and became a symbol of resistance against tyranny. The escape inspired countless stories, films, and books, ensuring that the bravery and sacrifice of those involved would not be forgotten. The Great Escape was not just an act of defiance, it was a testament to the power of hope, the strength of camaraderie, and the unbreakable will to be free. In the darkness of war, it shone as a beacon of courage, reminding the world that even in captivity, the human spirit cannot be confined. The tunnels of Stalag Luft III stand as silent witnesses to the ingenuity and determination of those who dared to dream of liberty and who risked everything to grasp it, if only for a moment.